Welcome back to our channel, my friends. I hope you all are doing great. Today, we are going to learn the life story of Princess Diana, one of the most loved women in the world. But this is not only the story of a princess. This is the story of a young girl who faced pain in childhood, entered the royal family, became a mother, suffered in silence, and still gave love to the world. Princess Diana's life was full of dreams, pressure, heartbreak, kindness, and tragedy. People loved her not only because she was beautiful, but because she had a heart that cared for everyone. She helped sick people, hugged children, comforted lonely people, and made ordinary people feel special. That is why the world still remembers her as the people's princess. So stay with me till the end, because Diana's story will touch your heart and teach us a beautiful lesson about kindness, courage, and love. Part 1. The Little Girl with a Kind Heart. Princess Diana was born on July 1st, 1961, in Norfolk, England. Her full name was Diana Frances Spencer. She was born into the Spencer family, a rich and respected family in Britain. From outside, her life looked beautiful. Big house, respected family, comfortable life. But inside her home, everything was not perfect. In 1967, when Diana was still a small child, her parents started having serious problems. The house did not feel peaceful anymore. Diana was too young to understand everything, but she could feel the sadness around her. In 1969, her parents divorced. Diana was only a little girl, and this broke her heart. She felt lonely, confused, and unsafe. A child always wants love from both parents, but Diana's family was no longer together. This pain made Diana very sensitive. Some people become cold after pain, but Diana became more caring. She started understanding other people's sadness because she had felt sadness herself. As a child, Diana was shy and quiet. She was not the loudest girl in the room. She did not try to show off. But people noticed her soft nature. She was gentle, polite, and kind. She loved dancing, music, swimming, animals, and especially children. When she was with children, she looked happy and natural. She had patience. She could listen. She could make people feel safe. In school, Diana was not known as the best student, but she was known as a warm and friendly girl. If someone felt alone, Diana could understand that feeling. She did not need big speeches. Her smile and kindness were enough. In 1975, Diana's father became Earl Spencer. After this, Diana became Lady Diana Spencer. This title made her more connected to high society. But Diana was still simple from the heart. Later, Diana started working with children as a nursery assistant. This was not a royal job or a glamorous job. It was a simple job. But Diana loved it. She helped children learn. She played with them. She cared for them. She made them smile. This showed her real personality. Diana did not think kindness was small. For her, helping one child was also important. In 1977, Diana met Prince Charles for the first time. At that time, she was very young. She did not know that this meeting would change her whole life. She did not know that one day she would enter the royal family. She did not know that one day cameras would follow her everywhere. She did not know that millions of people around the world would call her the people's princess. At that time, she was just Diana, a shy girl with a soft voice, a gentle smile, and a heart full of kindness. But slowly, destiny was opening a new door for her. And this little girl with a kind heart was about to step into a world of palaces, fame, love, pressure, and history. Part 2. A Fairy Tale Begins. In 1980, Diana met Prince Charles again. She was young, shy, and simple. Prince Charles was already famous because he was the future king of Britain. When Diana came closer to the royal world, many people started noticing her. She had a soft smile, innocent eyes, and a gentle way of speaking. She was different from many people around the royal family. Prince Charles liked Diana's quiet nature. Diana was not loud. She was not trying to show off. She looked natural and kind. Soon, the media became interested in Diana. Photographers started following her. Newspapers started writing about her. Diana was still very young, and suddenly, her private life was becoming public. This was not easy for her. Before this, Diana lived a simple life. She worked with children, spent time with friends, and enjoyed normal things. But now, cameras were waiting outside her home. Reporters wanted to know everything about her. In 1981, Prince Charles proposed to Diana. Diana said yes. The news became very big all over the world. People were excited because they thought this was a perfect love story. Diana was only 19 years old when she got engaged. She was young, hopeful, and full of dreams. She believed she was going to live a beautiful married life. But royal life was not simple. After the engagement, Diana had to learn many new things. She had to understand royal rules, public duties, and palace life. She could not live like a normal young woman anymore. On July 29, 1981, Diana married Prince Charles at St. Paul's Cathedral in London. Millions of people around the world watched the wedding on television. Diana wore a beautiful wedding dress with a very long train. She looked like a princess from a storybook. People called it a fairy tale wedding. For the world, it was a magical day. But for Diana, it was also the beginning of a very difficult journey. She entered a world full of palaces, cameras, rules, and expectations. Everyone wanted her to smile, look perfect, and act perfect. After the wedding, Diana became Princess of Wales. Suddenly, she was one of the most famous women in the world. People loved her beauty, but slowly they also started loving her heart. Diana visited people, shook hands, smiled at crowds, and tried to do her royal duties. But inside, she was still a young woman trying to understand a new life. She wanted love. She wanted peace. She wanted a happy home. But the palace world was not like the dream she imagined. The fairy tale had begun, but behind the beautiful pictures, Diana was already feeling pressure, loneliness, and fear. And soon, her life would change again when she became a mother. Part 3. Diana becomes a mother. In 1982, Diana's life changed forever. She became a mother for the first time. On June 21, 1982, Diana gave birth to her first son, Prince William. The whole country was happy. People were excited because William was not just Diana's son. He was also a future king. But for Diana, William was not only a royal baby, he was her child. She wanted to love him like a normal mother. She wanted to hold him, hug him, and stay close to him. In the royal family, life was full of rules. Many royal children were often raised by nannies and staff. But Diana wanted to be different. She wanted to be a hands-on mother. She did not want her children to feel lonely like she'd felt in her own childhood. She knew the pain of a broken family. She knew what sadness felt like. So she wanted her sons to feel safe, loved, and important. Diana often held William in public. She smiled at him, carried him, and showed love openly. This looked very natural to normal people, but in royal life, it was something different. People loved this side of Diana. They saw that she was not only a princess in beautiful dresses, she was also a loving mother with a warm heart. In 1984, Diana became a mother again. On September 15, 1984, she gave birth to her second son, Prince Harry. Now Diana had two sons, William and Harry. Her children became the center of her world. She loved them deeply and wanted to give them a childhood that felt real, not only royal. Diana took her sons to places where normal children went. She wanted them to understand real life. She took them to amusement parks, fast food restaurants, and hospitals. She wanted them to meet different kinds of people, not only rich and powerful people. This was very important. Diana did not want William and Harry to grow up thinking life was only about palaces and luxury. She wanted them to understand kindness, pain, struggle, and humanity. She taught them that every person has value. She taught them to respect people, no matter if they were rich or poor. She taught them that love is more important than status. But while Diana was becoming a wonderful mother, her personal life was becoming difficult. Her marriage with Prince Charles was not as happy as people believed. From outside, they looked like a perfect royal couple. They smiled in public. They appeared together at events. People thought they were living a dream life. But inside the palace, Diana felt lonely. She felt that her husband did not fully understand her. She wanted emotional support, but she often felt alone. The pressure of royal life also became heavy for her. The media followed her everywhere. Cameras watched her clothes, her face, her smile, and even her sadness. Every small thing became news. Diana was young, sensitive, and emotional. This constant pressure hurt her deeply. Still, she did not stop caring for others. In the mid-1980s, Diana started doing more public work. She visited hospitals, schools, and charities. She met sick children, old people, and people who were suffering. When Diana met people, she did not behave like a distant royal person. She came close. She listened. She touched their hands. She looked into their eyes. This made people feel seen. Many people said Diana had a special gift. She could make one person in a crowd feel important. Her kindness was not acting. It came from her heart. By the late 1980s, Diana was becoming more than a princess. She was becoming a symbol of love, care, and hope. People started seeing her as someone different from the traditional royal family. She was emotional, human, and warm. But behind her beautiful smile, Diana was fighting many private battles. She loved her sons. She loved helping people. But inside, she was searching for peace. And soon, Diana would take her kindness to the whole world, visiting the sick, touching the untouchable, and becoming known forever as the People's Princess. Part 4. The People's Princess. In the late 1980s, Diana became more than a royal woman. She became a voice for people who were suffering. At that time, many people believed a princess should stay far away from normal people. They thought a royal person should only smile, wave, and follow rules. But Diana was different. She did not want to be only a beautiful woman in expensive clothes. She wanted to use her position to help real people. She visited hospitals, children's homes, and charity centers. She met sick people, poor people, lonely people, and people who felt forgotten by society. When Diana met people, she did not stand far away. She came close. She held their hands. She listened to their pain. She made them feel important. This was the magic of Diana. She had the power to make people feel seen. In 1987, Diana did something very brave. She visited people who were suffering from HIV and AIDS. At that time, many people were afraid of this disease. Some people believed wrong things. They thought they could get AIDS just by touching someone. Because of this fear, many AIDS patients were treated badly. Some people did not want to sit near them. Some people did not want to shake hands with them. Many patients felt alone and ashamed. But Diana changed that moment. She shook hands with an AIDS patient without wearing gloves. This one simple action became very powerful. She was showing the world, these people need love, not fear. That moment helped change the way many people saw AIDS patients. Diana used her heart to fight fear and wrong thinking. She did not speak like a politician. She did not need big speeches. Her actions spoke louder than words. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Diana continued helping many charities. She supported children, homeless people, cancer patients, and people with serious illnesses. She had a special love for children. When she visited sick children, she sat near them. She smiled at them. She touched their faces gently. She made them feel safe. For Diana, charity was not just duty. It was personal. Because she had felt sadness in her own life, she could understand the sadness of others. She knew what it meant to smile outside while crying inside. This made people love her even more. They saw that Diana was not perfect, but she was real. During this time, the media followed Diana everywhere. Cameras waited outside her home. Newspapers wrote about her clothes, her body, her marriage, her face, and her emotions. Sometimes this attention was too much for her. She was famous, but she was also lonely. She was loved by millions, but inside the palace, she often felt misunderstood. Her marriage with Prince Charles was becoming more painful. From outside, they still looked like a royal couple. But inside, their relationship was breaking. Diana wanted love, honesty, and emotional support. But she often felt alone. The pressure became heavy on her heart. Still, Diana continued her public work. She did not let her pain stop her from helping others. This is what made her story powerful. She was suffering, but she was still giving love. She was hurt, but she was still healing others. In 1992, the problems in Diana and Charles's marriage became public. The whole world started understanding that the fairy tale wedding was not really a fairy tale anymore. In the same year, Diana and Charles officially separated. This was a very difficult time for Diana. She was still a mother, still a royal figure, and still watched by the whole world. Many people expected her to break down completely. But Diana slowly became stronger. She started finding her own voice. She started choosing the causes she truly cared about. She became more independent. People loved her not because her life was perfect, but because she faced pain like a real human being. She showed the world that a princess can cry. A princess can feel lonely. A princess can be broken. But a princess can also stand again. By the early 1990s, Diana was no longer just Prince Charles's wife. She had become a powerful woman in her own name. She had become the people's princess, not because of her title, but because of her heart. Part 5. Diana becomes stronger after pain. In 1992, Diana and Prince Charles officially separated. For the world, this was shocking. But for Diana, It was the beginning of a new and difficult chapter. Her marriage was breaking, but her life was still in front of the whole world. Cameras followed her everywhere. Newspapers wrote stories about her personal life. Some stories were true, and some were painful rumors. Diana felt trapped. She was living in a palace, but she did not feel free. In 1993, Diana made an important decision. She said she wanted to reduce her public duties. She was tired of the pressure, the attention, and the constant judgment. She needed time to heal herself. But Diana did not disappear completely. She carefully chose the causes that were closest to her heart. She wanted to spend her energy on real people, not only royal events. During this time, Diana started becoming more confident. Earlier, she was shy and nervous in public. But after many years of pain, she began to understand her own power. She understood that people listened to her. She understood that cameras followed her. And she understood that she could use this attention to help people who had no voice. In 1995, Diana gave a famous television interview. This became one of the biggest moments of her life. For years, people had spoken about her. But this time, Diana spoke for herself. She talked about her marriage, her loneliness, and her struggle inside royal life. Many people were surprised because she was very open and honest. She did not speak like a perfect princess. She spoke like a real woman. This made millions of people feel close to her. They saw her pain, but they also saw her courage. She was not hiding anymore. She was standing in her truth. In 1996, Diana and Prince Charles officially divorced. Her royal marriage was over. Diana lost the title, Her Royal Highness, but she was still called Diana, Princess of Wales. Some people thought divorce would make Diana weaker, but it made her more independent. Now she could choose her own path. She could decide where to go, whom to help, and what message to share with the world. Her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, remained the most important part of her life. Diana wanted them to grow up with kindness and understanding. She did not want them to only know palace life. She took them to normal places. She showed them the real world. She wanted them to understand that many people suffer, and those people deserve respect. Diana wanted her sons to become not only royal men, but good human beings. In 1997, Diana focused strongly on humanitarian work. One of her most powerful missions was against landmines. Landmines are dangerous weapons hidden under the ground. They can stay there for years after a war ends. Innocent people, even children, can step on them and lose their lives or their legs. Diana wanted the world to see this pain. In January 1997, she visited Angola. She walked through a cleared minefield wearing protective clothes. The photos of that walk went around the world. This moment was powerful because Diana was not just talking about a problem. She was standing near it. She was using her fame to bring attention to people who were suffering far away from royal palaces. Some people criticized her. They said she was getting involved in political issues. But Diana continued. She believed helping innocent people was not politics. It was humanity. In August 1997, Diana also visited Bosnia to meet people affected by landmines. She listened to survivors and families. She gave them comfort, but she also gave them something bigger, attention from the world. By this time, Diana had changed completely. She was no longer only the shy girl who married a prince in 1981. She was no longer only the sad woman trapped in a difficult marriage. She had become a strong, independent, caring woman who used her pain to understand others. Diana's life was not perfect, but her heart was powerful. She had been broken, but she still gave love. She had been judged, but she still helped people. She had lost many things, but she found her voice. By 1997, Diana was ready to start a new chapter of her life. She wanted peace, love, freedom, and purpose. But sadly, the world did not know that her time was becoming very short. Part 6. Diana, Dodi, and the Final Night. In 1997, Diana was trying to begin a new life. She was divorced from Prince Charles, free from many royal rules, and ready to live with more peace. She wanted to be a loving mother, continue her charity work, and find happiness in her personal life. During this time, Diana became close to Dodi Fayed. Dodi Fayed was the son of Mohammed al-Fayed, a very rich Egyptian businessman. Mohammed al-Fayed owned famous businesses, including the Ritz Hotel in Paris. Dodi worked as a film producer and lived a rich, international life. In the summer of 1997, Diana spent time with Dodi and his family. They traveled on a luxury yacht in the Mediterranean Sea. For Diana, this time looked peaceful and different from her stressful royal life. She was laughing again. She was smiling again. She looked relaxed. Many newspapers started writing about Diana and Dodi. Photographers followed them everywhere. When pictures of Diana and Dodi together came out, the world became very curious. People wanted to know, was Diana in love again? Was this a serious relationship? Was she going to marry Dodi? But the truth is, their relationship was still new. They had only been close for a short time. Diana was enjoying attention, care, and freedom. But nobody can honestly say exactly what she had planned for the future. In August 1997, Diana and Dodi spent more time together. They visited beautiful places by the sea. But even in these private moments, cameras were never far away. Diana wanted privacy, but privacy was almost impossible for her. Wherever she went, photographers followed. If she smiled, it became news. If she looked sad, it became news. If she met someone, it became a big story. By the end of August 1997, Diana and Dodi were traveling together. On August 30th, 1997, they arrived in Paris, France, after spending time on a yacht. They were planning to stay in Paris for the night before going to London. That evening, Diana and Dodi went to the Ritz Hotel in Paris. The hotel was connected to Dodi's father, Mohammed al-Fayed. But outside, many photographers were waiting. Diana and Dodi wanted to avoid the cameras. They did not want their whole night to become another newspaper story. Later, after midnight, in the early hours of August 31st, 1997, Diana and Dodi left the Ritz Hotel. They sat in the back seat of a black Mercedes car. The driver was Henri Paul, who worked as security at the Ritz. Dodi's bodyguard, Trevor Rees-Jones, sat in the front passenger seat. The car was going toward Dodi's apartment in Paris. But photographers were following them. The situation became tense. A few minutes later, the car entered the Pont de l'Alma tunnel in Paris. Then suddenly, the car crashed. The crash was terrible. Dodi Fayed died. The driver, Henri Paul, also died. Trevor Rees-Jones was badly injured but survived. Diana was still alive after the crash, but she was seriously injured. She was taken to Pitié-Salpêtrière Hospital in Paris. Doctors tried to save her, but her injuries were too serious. Princess Diana died on August 31st, 1997. She was only 36 years old. When the news came out, the whole world was shocked. People could not believe it. Diana was young. She was beautiful. She was loved by millions. She had 2 young sons. She had dreams for the future. And suddenly, she was gone. In Britain, people came outside royal palaces with flowers, candles, cards, and letters. The flowers became like a sea. People cried in the streets. Many people had never met Diana, but they felt her kindness in their hearts. They remembered how she touched sick people without fear. They remembered how she hugged children. They remembered how she smiled at people who felt forgotten. They remembered how she made ordinary people feel important. On September 6th, 1997, Diana's funeral took place in London. Millions of people around the world watched it on television. One of the most heartbreaking moments was seeing her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, walking behind her coffin. They were not just princes in that moment. They were 2 young boys saying goodbye to their mother. Diana was later buried at Althorpe, her family home. But Diana's story did not end with her death. Her kindness stayed alive. Her work stayed alive. Her message stayed alive. Diana changed the way people saw royalty. She showed that a princess does not need to be cold and distant. A princess can be warm. A princess can sit with sick people. A princess can cry. A princess can listen. A princess can hold someone's hand and make them feel less alone. That is why people called her the People's Princess. Not because of her palace, not because of her title, but because of her heart. Princess Diana's life was short, but her impact was powerful. She taught the world that real beauty is not only in the face. Real beauty is in kindness, courage, and love. Her final year was full of change. Her relationship with Dodi Fayed showed that Diana was trying to find happiness again. But her sudden death became one of the saddest moments of modern history. Even today, many years after 1997, people still remember Diana. Because some people